In this video, we're going to look at the region booklet for upper extremities, the wrist and hand regions. So with this booklet, parts 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 have been completed, but parts 6, 7, 8 and 9 still need to be done. So for part 6, you need to identify the origin, insertions and actions for the following muscles: extensor carpi ulnaris, extensor carpi radialis longus, extensor carpi radialis brevis, extensor digitorum, flexor digitorum profundus, flexor digitorum superficialis, flexor carpi ulnaris, flexor carpi radialis, palmaris longus, palmar interossei, dorsal interossei, lumbricals, thenar muscle, flexor pollicis brevis, flexor pollicis longus, opponus pollicis, and adductor pollicis, extensor pollicis longus, extensor pollicis brevis, abductor pollicis longus, abductor pollicis brevis, adductor pollicis, opponus pollicis. For part 7, you need to identify what muscles are involved during the active range of movement, passive range of movement, and resistive range of movement for the following muscle actions. So wrist flexion. Actively, the client holds their forearm and hand supine, then moves the palmar surface of the hand only towards the body. Passively, the therapist holds the forearm and hand supine, then moves the client's palmar surface of the hand only towards the body. Resistively, the therapist stabilizes the client's wrist and then resists wrist flexion, so there is no movement. Wrist extension. Actively, the client holds the forearm and wrist prone, then moves the dorsal surface of the hand only towards the body. Passively, the therapist holds the forearm and wrist prone, then moves the client's dorsal surface of the hand only towards the body. Resistively, the therapist stabilizes the client's wrist, then resists wrist extension, so there is no movement. Wrist adduction or ulnar deviation. Actively, the client holds the forearm and hand supine, then moves their hand towards the midline. Passively, the therapist holds the forearm and hand supine, then moves the client's hand towards the midline. Resistively, the therapist stabilizes the client's wrist and then resists wrist adduction, so there's no movement. Wrist abduction or radial deviation. Actively, the client will hold the forearm and hand supine, then moves their hand only away from the midline. Passively, the therapist will hold the forearm and hand supine, then moves the client's hand only away from the midline. And resistively, the therapist stabilizes the client's wrist, then resists wrist abduction, so there is no movement. For part 8, you need to identify the objective, the positive finding, and the process for the following special tests. So these tests are Phelan's test, Finkelstein's test, Tinel sign. And for part 9, you need to perform and describe the treatment protocols and massage techniques for the following dysfunctions. So again, the dysfunction has been given to you, but you need to let us know what massage techniques you would be completing. So de Queven's tenosynovitis, carpal tunnel syndrome, and osteoarthritis of the first metacarpal phalangeal joint. If you have any questions with this, please chat with Paula or Emily and we can provide further guidance.